Good morning, girls and boys, and welcome to week 26 of our art class. Please get yourselves into a good mindset, right? Let's put ourselves in a positive place, in a quiet space at home where we can be calm, we can listen, we can work to the best of our ability, right? Stay positive. When you get frustrated, don't say, I give up. No, that's not what we say. We say, let me try another way. Let's figure out a solution, another way to do it, right? To the best of our ability. And, if it seems too hard, then make the best effort that you can make, right? Do everything to the best of your ability so that you can always be proud of everything that you do, right? Because I'm proud of you when you do that as well. And so what we're going to do this week is we're going to pick up where we left off last time. And that is right here, we are talking about relief. Do you remember? And it's not this kind of relief. Whew, what a relief. A relief in visual art is when our artwork, when a piece projects off of the surface. So we were looking at this relief, or this piece of the Great Relief at Mamallapuram. That's right, located in India. And it is great and large and expands so many feet. You can't even imagine, like as wide as a building, right? So this is just a little small piece showing the elephants walking in a row. And I wanted to show you that it is reliefed off of the stone, right? And this was carved. And we don't have that ability to do at home. So what I thought we could do is we could take your landscape from last week of your waterfall, and we would add to it some materials that we have at home, right? So right here, you can see that I added this brown paper from a brown bag at home, and I stuck it on there with tape, and then when I turn my artwork on the side, you can see now it has a little bit of depth, right? Now this piece of paper that is a two-dimensional flat surface is not that flat. It has a portion of it that is reliefed off of this surface. And so that is what we're going to do today. We're going to be inspired by the Great Relief at Mamallapuram, and we're going to create our own relief piece on our landscape. And the way that we do that is by having some of these materials. So let me show you what I have. I have a brown bag, right? A brown bag from the supermarket. I have a scissor in case I need it. I have some tape, whatever kind you have at home. I have a glue stick. If you don't have these materials, then don't worry about it. But if you do, then you're able to use them. And we can add some actual textures. You do. Actual textures. That's my symbol for an actual texture. A visual texture is when we create the look of something. If I was going to color here, let me just show you an example. Let's say I was going to color these rocks or these cliffs. I would do this. I would add my marker and go in different directions. On purpose, I would go in different directions. Why? To show a visual texture, to try to create the look of rocks being jagged or zigzaggy back and forth, because rocks are bumpy and lumpy and they go in different directions. So I would color with my marker in that way. And now when I bring it up close, it would give the look of the texture of a rock. But we are going to use actual textures by adding some of this brown bag. So last week you were asked to draw the composition, right? To map out where everything was going to go on your page just by drawing lines to show the waterfall, to indicate or show where your mountains were. And you were also asked to add details, your own details. You could add trees in the distance. You could add flowers. You could have added people picnicking, animals. We discussed that you could add a boat down here. You could add people fishing. You could add whatever details you wanted. Here I have a different look. We talked about creating your own landscape, the way that you want it to look. Here I have rainbow water. I have no trees. I have no sunset, and I have no mountain. Here I have different elements, right? I'm showing different things. And this is a more realistic look because all of my water are different shades of blue and different values. I also mixed the media. I always like to do that. Mix media means mixing the mediums, mixing the different materials. So I colored in one direction, I colored it blue, then I added some blue marker and I made some zigzag lines down here to show that the water is collecting here. And so you were asked to add all of the color except for these two big white areas that we drew. And these are where our rocks are going to be reliefed from. So now I'm going to work on this piece and I'm going to show you what added textures we can work on. So we have this piece. I'm going to go directly to the cliffs. That's the big portion of our relief. So I'm going to take a piece of this bag. You can cut it if you'd like, or you can simply tear it. I'm going to tear mine, just like this. And please, before you tear this up, ask a grown-up at home if you may use this bag. Or if you have construction paper and you'd like to use brown construction paper, you can do that also. I just try to get a little creative and think of the things that we might have available at home to use, right? So now I have a piece that looks like this, and intentionally or on purpose, I'm going to scrunch it up. I'm gonna crumble this up like I'm frustrated, and I'm gonna throw it in the trash. But I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna open it back up. And now I'm going to scrunch it up again, because each time that I crumble this paper, or I manipulate it, or I change it, I'm transforming this flat piece of paper into a 3D form of a sphere or a ball. Every time I scrunch it up, I am making this paper a little bit softer, and I am adding more creases, more wrinkles, and that is going to make it look more realistic as a cliff on either side of our waterfall. Okay, so I'm crumbling it up, I'm scrunching it, I'm opening it up, I'm scrunching it some more. It's kind of fun. And now I have a piece that looks like rock, right? Okay, now the next part is to add our sticky surface. So let me switch our reference here with our work in progress, right? A work in progress means that it is still being made. It is not complete. So I'm going to take some tape and I'm going to make loops, like this. Loops, sticky side out, right? So I just loop my tape and I'm going to put it all around the perimeter. You say perimeter. Good. That means all around the outside edge of my space that I'm going to cover up with my brown paper bag. So I'm just gonna add a bunch of loops there. If you have glue or you have a glue stick and you'd like to use the glue instead, you can do that. I'll show you one side with tape, one side with glue stick. It doesn't make a difference. It's whatever you have available, or if you have both available, then it's whatever you feel more comfortable using, or which one you like to use best. Okay, so even along the bottom, the more tape you put, the more set in place your actual texture will be. Okay, so I have just a few more pieces here. And I'll be good to go on that side. Okay, so right there, I have all of this side taped up, right? And that's why I told you last week that you didn't have to color this space on either side, because it's gonna be covered up if you add an actual texture. If you're not adding actual texture, then you do have to color that in, right? Because rocks are never just blank like that. Okay, now I'm gonna take my brown paper bag piece. I'm gonna scrunch it up a little more, and then I'm going to start to stick it. I'm just gonna start placing it on my paper and try to make it cover up all of my white spaces. And I can make it project off of my page as much as I want. And I have some extra here, and I'm gonna tear off this little piece here. Why? Because I'm short a little piece up there, so I can just patch it up. I'm not gonna get angry or frustrated. I am just going to add more right there. I can add it in pieces if I have to, and that's okay. So now, if you look, I have added some actual texture. Now, it's better if I take my time and I actually make that actual texture stay in one spot. So I'm going to take the time to do that. I don't want to just leave it hanging off my paper, because then it's going to look messy and undone, and it won't show my very best work. So I'm really going to press hard. Good. And then I'm going to tape that little piece down too. This little piece that's sticking up. There we go. Okay. All right, I think it looks great so far. Now, on this side, I can add some glue with the glue stick. Let's see if that works as well. I can go all around the perimeter here, the outside edge of my biomorphic shape here, right? That area. Now I need another piece of my brown bag. Again, I scrunch it and crumble it up. And then I open it up. And I do it again. And then I open it up again. It's good exercise too, right? Okay. So I'm crumbling it up. And the more I crumble it, the softer the paper becomes and the easier it is to work with. Now I can simply press down onto my paper, onto the glue from the glue stick, and I can put it on there. I happen to like the tape better because for some reason it sticks out more. It makes my relief project outward more, and it sticks better. That's not sticking very well. So I'm just going to add some tape. And then I did want to tell you that I added some more actual textures. On my waterfall, where the water comes down and hits the lake or the pond or the bottom portion here, wherever this water is collecting, I added some cotton from Q-tips, from cotton swabs, and I put them at the bottom. Oh, that looks a lot better, don't you think? Yeah. And maybe I do want this piece coming down here. And so I'm gonna put one last piece of tape at the bottom. And I'm gonna let that rock just project completely outward. There we go. Okay. So now, look at my actual texture. Do you think it looks like a cliff with rocks? I think so too. And then when I turn my paper to the side, now it is a relief. You say relief. Good. Whew, what a relief. It's a relief. So it's a relief. It's projecting outward, away from the surface of our paper. And so you can add other actual textures. I have these Q-tips, and I can just, that's what I did on this piece. Right here at the bottom, I pulled the cotton off of the sticks and I laid it there on top of some glue from the glue stick to show that foam, right? Like in the ocean, when the waves crash down, it produces a little white foam in the water. And so I can do that too. I'm going to pull these apart. If you don't have cotton, I just didn't have cotton balls. I would have used cotton balls, but I didn't have any. You can use this, you could use a paper towel, you could use a piece of toilet paper, whatever you want. Whatever you have or whatever you want to use that is an actual texture, actually how something feels. So then I just take this glue stick, and right here, anywhere that is at the bottom that I would like to add these actual textures, I'm just going to put them here and lay them down and add them. And I can make them go in different directions so that it looks like it's splashing down or splashing upward, right? So if I make them go in different directions, it will give you that look of splashing outward, right? And so I'll put a few more and maybe some coming down here. And I can pull these apart, right? And make more, or make them thinner. Or leave it the way that it comes out and it will be thick. Okay, so it's your choice. You can manipulate that. You can change it however you like. Then I was thinking, what else do you guys have at home? You guys have maybe some of these left over. If you do, I could take little pieces of this colored paper towel, colored coffee filter. I could take them and scrunch them up just like we did for the brown paper bag, and I could make little flowers. And then I could take my glue stick, I could put it right here on the grass, and then I could take my little colorful papers and I could add them onto the grass. And now that will look like a bunch of little orange flowers growing from that grass right next to the little stream or next to this little creek that then comes down as a waterfall, right? I could do that, or I could turn this into one of the trees. Maybe it's not summertime. I made all of the leaves green here in these trees, but maybe it's not summertime. Maybe it's the season of fall, and I want to make these leaves orange or red or yellow or maybe some purples. And I can do that too. I could simply take the same paper, or if you have construction paper or just a newspaper, a flyer from a department store or from Walgreens or something where they're showing you some coupons or some advertisements, you could ask somebody at home if you could use it and tear it up and scrunch it, and then you could add it to your artwork as an actual texture. So now I'm taking these little pieces of orange and I'm adding them onto my tree, right? I can do whatever I like. It's my artwork. So please remember, boys and girls, I am just showing you examples. Your artwork never has to look exactly like mine, and it shouldn't, because then it wouldn't be your artwork, right? We are each our own individual artists, and that's what makes our work special. So I am so looking forward to getting these pieces from you, and I just wanted to show you what the colorful paper on the trees look like, and I like it. I think it looks great. So get creative. Think, what do I have at home that I could use as an actual texture? Ask if you can use it first, and then add it onto your relief landscape, okay? And I'm super proud of you, boys and girls. You have done such an amazing job today with me, and I really appreciate it, and I look forward to getting your artwork submitted into Google Classroom for week 26, okay? So please remember to do that, and have a great time while you're creating artwork, right? That's the whole point. Have fun, okay? Thanks a lot, boys and girls, and I'll see you next time. Bye.